this Royal Cruise Matrix Getting Started training. Welcome you to Royal Cruise Matrix as well. And I tell you, you're doing a great job and making a great decision starting off by watching this training. It's going to give you the proper philosophies that you need to really help maximize the compensation plan. We're going to go through this very quickly, but remember, you can watch this video as many times as you need to absorb the information. So quick comp plan review. It's a 4-tier ambassador matrix. It's a revolving matrix, simply meaning that every time you complete the current tier, not only do you get an entry into the new tier, but you also get another one of the current tier. It's 14 positions in each matrix, 1 through 4. That doesn't change. Unlimited cycles here. We put no caps on income. And the Follow Me feature, that's going to be what we're really going to focus on here because this is the way you can maximize the compensation plan. Every time you help one of your personally sponsored independent reps cycle, not only will they earn money, but they're going to follow you into your next matrix, and you can really use that as a strategy here. All new independent reps are sponsored into Tier 1. You can't sponsor directly into 2, 3, or 4. The only way to get to the next tier, the only way to get to Tier 2 is to cycle out of Tier 1, and so on and so on. Now, compensation plan review in terms of income. The first time you cycle Tier 1, you'll earn 100. Every time after that, 500. First time you cycle Tier 2, 500. Every time after, 5,000. Tier 3, first time, 5,000. Then 25,000 every time after. And Tier 4, first time and every time, $100,000. That's never been done before. That's incredible. And the $10,000 sponsor bonus. Most people, what they understand about Tier 1 is this. They know they start at the top, and it's them. If you go out, you find 2 people, let's say Mike and John, they love our membership and they also want to be a part of our business opportunity, then Mike and John will be sponsored independent reps as well as people with the membership, and that's your 2. That's your first level, and you've gotten your 2. Mike and John duplicate you, they get their 2. Your second level, you have 4. Those 4 duplicate, they get their 2. Your third level, you have 8. That completes your matrix. You cycle. Through 3 levels you went, and you cycled and you earn money. And that's going to be a theme with our compensation plan. Every time you go through 3 levels of 2 getting 2, guess what? You're going to cycle all of your current tiers. Whether you currently have 1, 2, 3, or 4, they'll all cycle every time you duplicate through 3 levels of 2 getting 2. So 2 streams of income now. You cycled, you earned $100. You now have Arena Tier 1 that we talked about in the revolving matrix and the new Tier 2. And guess what? When you go through 3 more levels, so these 8, they find their 2, that's 16. That's going to cycle Mike and John, and they'll follow you over. These 16, they speak to their 2, that's 32. That's going to cycle these people, and they'll follow you over. And 1 more level. We can't keep drawing boxes, not enough room. But now we've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 levels of 2 getting 2, and guess what that's done for you? That's cycled all of your current matrices again. So when you cycle the Arena Tier 1, that's $500 because that's your second time there. Your first time Tier 2, that's $500. A total of $1,100 for 6 levels of 2 getting 2. You can probably start to understand the theme here. You've now got 3 income streams possible. Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3. Guess what? You go through 9 levels of 2 getting 2. You will have cycled all 3 of those tiers again, and this is what you're going to earn: $500 for Tier 1, $5,000 for your second time through Tier 2, $5,000 for your first time through Tier 3. The money's getting more serious here, but again, that's not what I'm trying to focus on for this training. I want you to focus that every time you go through 3 levels of 2 getting 2, you're cycling all of your tiers. So again, when we go through 12 levels of 2 getting 2, you can figure it out. You're going to cycle Tier 1, Tier 2, Tier 3 now, the second time, $25,000. That's a huge number. And Tier 4, the first time and every time, $100,000. So that's the key. 2, you get 2, you help them get 2, and it keeps going. And when it goes through 12 levels, you will have earned all this income. Now, I'm not making an income guarantee. In fact, I'll guarantee you this. I'll guarantee that a lot of people that are watching this video right now will never earn this kind of money because you're not going to do what we're going to ask you to do next. Even though it's super simple, you're going to try to reinvent the wheel. But this is what you really should do. Focus on this. You got a 3-part goal. Your goal is simple. Get your 2. That's number 1, and that's primary. Get your 2, and then get them as quickly as possible because you're the pace setter. The faster you do it, the faster they're going to get their 2, and et cetera, and then get them in a duplicable way. And this is where most people are going to fail at because they're not going to do something that duplicates. Remember, it's not just about you getting 2. It's about you getting 2 who get 2. So this is where people fail at. They fail to duplicate because they do something that's talent-based. It's complicated, expensive, or time-consuming. If any of these things would describe your system will not work in depth, and therefore you're not going to be able to earn that money. Here's a simple system that's going to work for everybody. Anyone can do this. It's not expensive, not talent-based, not complicated, et cetera, et cetera. first of all, create a top 10 list, okay? Not asking for 100 or 1,000. Remember, you're just trying to get 2. So even if 8 of these people say no, you still win. The people I would talk to first, people who have previous multi-level marketing experience or direct sales experts, people who are spheres of influence, pastors, coaches, teachers are some examples, and entrepreneurs because they think like you do. They're business people, and they think like you do. They're going to go out and they're going to make it happen. Once you have that list together, you're going to have a very simple, duplicatable approach. Hey, John, are you in front of a computer? Yeah, I am, Brian. Why? Because I have something I want to show you. You may or may not be interested, and it's only going to take about 15 minutes of your time. I tell you what, you cannot mess this up. Something I want to show you may or may not be interested, only going to take about 15 minutes. And once John says, okay, great, what do I need to take a look at, you get him exposed through a third-party tool. So whether it's the computer, whether he says, I don't have a computer, I can't get to one, and you get him on a conference call, it doesn't matter. Your replicated website, conference calls, recorded calls, sizzle calls, live or recorded webinars, we have a bunch of different options to expose him, but the most important thing is that you're exposing him with a third-party tool. In other words, you're not explaining it to him because that can't duplicate. You want to expose him with a tool, let the tool do the work, but also deliver the message up front to John that, hey, if you get started with this, you're going to be doing the exact same thing, getting people onto one of these tools, not trying to have to memorize the RCM story and basically waiting until you learn it to try to go out there and make money. You can start making money with the compensation plan right away. Once he's been exposed to a tool, let's say he watched the webinar, I'm going to say, John, what did you like best about what you just saw? No matter what his response is, hey, I like the money. Hey, I like the fact that it's a travel-based thing. Hey, I like the membership. I like the fact that we're international now. Whatever he says, I'm going to say, great, John, let me ask you another question. Do you see an opportunity for yourself? We're going to get right to it because at this point, it's decision time. And guess what? When you ask this question, do you see an opportunity for yourself, he can only respond one of 3 ways. Either yes, he sees an opportunity. If so, great. Let's get you signed up. I'm going to get him on a call with an upline expert who can welcome him to the team and make him realize that there's a big team out there to support him, and they're going to do a game plan for him. If he says, well, I don't know, I've got some questions, that's a maybe, great. I'm going to get him on a call with the same upline expert who can answer his questions. I'm not going to answer his questions because that can't duplicate. I'm going to let somebody else do it for him. And then if he still needs more info, I send it to him. And if he says no, I'm not going to get upset. I'm not going to make him feel bad. I'm going to say, hey, John, great. I understand everything's not for everybody, but let me ask you this question. Who do you know that might be interested in working on a project like this? Because I want referrals, guys. I want referrals from everyone who says no to me. Once he gives me those referrals, I'm going to ask him one more question. John, do you mind if I keep you informed about how this is going for me? That's my permission to follow up, so I can keep following up with him over and over again and telling him how things are going for me, and eventually he might decide that he does want to be a part of Royal Cruise Matrix. Remember, the fortune is in the follow-up. Guys, in closing here, it's really simple. The wrap-up says it's all about 2. You want to create your list, and you want to approach them and expose them and sort them all in a very duplicatable way, and you want to do it as quickly as possible. You can go through 10 in one day, no problem. You want to get your 2 and get them as fast as possible. If you do this in a day, you'll have them in a day. And then ultimately, you want to get them to all watch this training so they can learn what you just learned. They can duplicate. You can explode your business through 12 levels. You can earn the income. They can earn the income. And everybody can win together. Again, thanks for actually taking some time to watch this training. Watch it again as many times as you need to. If you feel like you need to absorb the information over and over again, go out there, make your list, and let's get started. Again, thanks for your time. Looking forward to actually hearing your success stories.